Hello guys. I have been very busy lately, so I wasn't able to create another tutorial. Okay, but today I'm going to teach you how we're going to format. Say, for example, if you look at this one, so the data that I have right now is coming from a government website, which will in New Zealand, which will tell you the CPI or the Consumer Price Index all from all year. So from 1914 until June 2020. Say what you see here is actually 1914.06, but this would mean June 1914 and then September 1914. If you want to change that and convert it to a year and a date, all you have to do is highlight column B where this period is located, and you go to data and text to columns. From the text to columns, you choose delimited and then next and next. So from the date here, so this one, 1914 is your year, and then the next number is your month. So you have here year and then month, then you have the day. Normally, Excel will automatically use the first day. So this would be 1914, June 1. But let's see. So this is 1914, so June 1, 1914. You can see it here. And then we can go down and see June 1, 2020. So Excel automatically uses the first day as the day because the format that we were able to download does not provide for the day, but only provide for the year and the month. Yeah, sorry about that. Some cats outside. And then we have, but say for example, so you can also use this data text into anything you want. Like for example, this one. This is a data which will tell you the dollar value of how the data value 16 and 17. If we wanted to change this one into text, then all we have to do is highlight the column where your data is and then go to data and text to columns and just click on next until you reach this column data format. So you can either choose general, text, date. Earlier when we formatted column B, we chose the date. But now, because say I'm just trying to show you what you're going to choose if, for example, you wanted to convert this number into text. So you will choose this one text and click finish. So this one automatically converts. So everything converts to text. Instead of, because what I did before is, say for example, this one. So it will be written as a number. Let's just say this is a number. And what I normally do before is I will double click this one and then add here as like apostrophe so that it will convert. So if for example you have a number of lines that you want to convert, like for this case it's 18,745, then you will have like you'll have to spend so many hours trying to convert this, which you can all actually do quickly if you go to, if you highlight the column where you want the numbers, the data to change, and text to columns, and then you click next until you reach this page and you choose text. So what if this is already, when I downloaded it, this is already formatted as a text and I want this to change into a number. So you just do the same. You go to data, highlight the column, go to data, text the column, and from here you just try finish. Oh, it did not work. Okay, um, this one, and then you just write general, but let's see. Normally it will. Let's try again. Oh, it doesn't work. Oh, okay. It did not work because here normally it will just work with the the data and then text delimited, and then you just click finish. But this, in our case, it did not work because we set it to text. So all we have to do is either press control plus one, so control and one together, and then you change this one into numbers, and there you go. So if you can either try, if you want these numbers, this data to be changed to back to numbers, you just highlight, and then you can either do this one, go to data and then text to columns and then finish, or you can just highlight control plus one and change it to number. Or if you don't know control plus one, it's actually control plus one is similar to um, this one from here, from home, and then here. So from home under the number, and then you click on more format. It's the same thing. And then you choose the numbers. Okay. Um, and then what I'm really trying to show you is the how to use, how to create a pivot. So for example, you have all this data and you wanted to create a pivot of the year. So you just highlighted that your table, highlight your table, and then from here you go insert, click this one, insert, and pivot table. So you either have a choice of creating a new worksheet, or if you already and you wanted to if you already have a worksheet prepared or created and you want this pivot to be part of what you have created, then you just click this one, existing, and then it will ask you for the location. You go look for the location. But for this exercise, we're just going to use the new worksheet. So I'm going to click this one, and say for example I wanted to know um what do we have here? It's CPI, and then all groups, all grocery food. It's this date and this date. Okay, fine. Say I wanted to know the period. So this one automatically by default it pivot is going to group this by year. So you can either ungroup it. You just right click and click this one and group. So you will see June, September, December. Yeah, June 2015. And then, so this is your row. So whatever you want, say for example, you want to add this row also, so you can just drag and drop. So from here, drag it, drop. I don't want this value. I want this group. So I also want to see this group. Oh no, I don't like that group. I want this one, series title, so that I can see all groups if it's just food only. And automatically by default, your pivot table is going to show like this one. If you want to to do it tabular, you have the option just to change it to tabular. So you just go to uh, pivot table tools, and then here on the design, you drop down under report layout, and then you can choose tabular. So now you have like all these totals. So June 20, 1914, and then you have the series title, all groups and food, and then you have total for this. And if you don't like it and you don't really like the total, you can just from the pivot table and this and then design, and under subtotals you just show do not show subtotals. So see, all the subtotals were gone. And say for example you wanted to have this date repeat, like June 1 for all groups. I'm sorry, June 20 1914 for all groups, and then June 1914 for food. All you have to do is go to pivot table and then design, and from here, from the report layout, then you choose repeat all items. And then you will see here those dates repeated. And so from the row, and if, for example, you wanted to, instead of looking at all the groups, you wanted this to become your filter. So June, and like June 1914, and then let's just add here the value. So June 1914, and I wanted to show only for this. So this one, because the series title, you added the series title on the filter, then all the options that is in this um, column will show up here. So you can, if you only choose one, then you can just um, choose from here, and then let's say I've chosen meat and poultry. So this is what I'm getting. If, for example, I wanted to select multiple, then I will just check this one automatically. This bar here, like, how do you call that? Tick mark, that like this box that you can tick, and will automatically appear. But if I'm going to uncheck this select multiple items, then I only will be able to choose only one of the many choices that I have on this filter. And if I move it here, then this goes to as another column. If I move it up, you will not see it in the column, but you have the option to use it as a filter. Whether you can either choose to select multiple or just only one of the, you can only choose one of the many options that you have. And here in the column, so aside from, so this is the value. Say for example, I wanted to see like different group. So here you will see all the values grouped together. So different column for each of the group. And then you have the grand total. So I just drag and drop. So this is my column now. I wanted to see CPI on all groups, CPI level for level 1, for level 2, level 3. And that's here. I can see it here. And here you will see all those based on the columns that you have provided. And say for example, I wanted to add the status. If it, I mean, just in for this database that we have, everything is final. But if it's not, then if you have like so many status, then you can actually see so many of that here. And then you have like units or the subject, whatever you want to do, just add here. Another, if for example you want to change the design or the look of your pivot, then you can just from pivot table tools. So if you put your cursor anywhere within the pivot, then this automatically shows up, and then you can just click design or analyze. Say for example, you already have the pivot and you created a nice design and you want to reuse it, then you can just go here under pivot table and then change your source. So for example, this one is what you have, and then on another you have another tab here with a different date, but you wanted to preserve the pivot options or choices or design that you have already created, then you just go to pivot table and then change your source data. Automatically this will update. And another option would be um, so we are, maybe I will have to go through each of these options, each of these functions that I normally use. So you have expand and this one is just a name. So you can either change the name or just leave it as is. I normally don't change the pivot name. And then like this period, or if you want to change it, you can also do it here. And then um, expand and expand, there is an expand and collapse field here, but you can also do it here. Like I wanted to expand all the years, all the dates, so I will just do an expand. But this case we cannot do it because we only have like one line, it doesn't repeat. But if, for example, we're going to put this filter down, then you will see like this, all groups. And if I wanted to ex- collapse everything, and then I will see only one. But then you will not, you will also not be able to see all the details of the column after the column where you collapse, or where you collapse it. But if you're going to expand, then expand entire field, you will see all these status and series title. So that's what expand and collapse field is for. And then group or ungroup. Say, for example, you wanted to group this into just years. I don't want to see months. So you will have here 1914, 15, 2020 until whatever year you have. So because we group it according to their years. And if we ungroup it, we just click on this one. Okay. And what else? Oh, oh, you can also select a slicer. So I wanted to be able to filter like maybe the dates. Let's say period if it's possible. So here you can like move it anywhere on your Excel working file and then only choose whatever is relevant for you. So for example, I wanted to see March 2020. So this is all for March 2020. So instead of, it's as if you filter something like this and then choose, or then this slicer will be like, it's very effective or convenient if you're just going to add like some more columns here and you add all the slicer. So if you need it, you don't have to go through all these and filter, so they can just scroll down. It's also nice to look at. Like I wanted to see December, and then you create another filter for, let's say I have this pivot and I have like slicer, another slicer, which is the series. So I wanted to see the March 19, but only alcoholic beverages, or like this one. So I'm actually not sure. Oh, okay. So I've chosen to, I just click on control and then choose the ones that I like or that I want to see. So from the slicer, you can like click on one or click on many um, by pressing on control as you click for whatever choices you want to show or whatever data you want to show. Just click control and then press on any of these choices that you have. Automatically your pivot table will get updated. So this is what slicer is for. And then you can like format your slicer into different colors like this. And we go back to the pivot, and then you can like refresh or change data. This one, change data if you have like so many tabs. Say for example, you have for June, for July, for May, for January, then you have all these data, so you can just right click and then create a pivot. Say this one is pivot for June, the other one is pivot for let's say January, and or let's say July. So if you have July, you just click on this pivot and then go to change data source and then change it to your July data. So at least you preserve, you don't have to create another slicer if you have already created one, or another or change the formatting or the columns, or you can also do from scratch whatever you like. But yeah, but this one you can, I mean, this option will help you. Or if, for example, you add additional lines to this. So mm, by July, you already added like maybe 2 or 3 lines. So from here, if initially what you have captured is only until 108 18,746 and you want to add 3 more, then you have to just highlight it again until your last date information. Or from here, you can just add, like instead of 8746, you can add here 18750, and that will also do the trick. Okay, let's go back. And then clear, I haven't really cleared. Okay, so this one is like clear all the filters. If you have done all the filters like from your slicer, then you can just check this one and then clear all. So all the clear all is like clearing all the data. Say for example, I already have this one, but I can just, like, if I accidentally click that and I don't intend to click that, so you can just do control plus C. That's redo or go back, or you can click this one. But this Excel will also give you a hint. It's control plus Z here. Oh, okay. So how did I add all this? By the way, this is like additional. I'm sorry. I'm digressing, but okay, maybe later on towards the end I'll teach you how I add all these in all these icons up here. And okay, let's go back to select entire or enable selection. I don't normally use this one. And then like move pivot table. So let's see. Okay. So if you want to move it to an existing location or a new worksheet, then you can. But you can also like click this one and then right click and then move or copy. And that will do. Okay, so this one, say for example, this calculated field will help you with automatically calculates for whatever you want. Say for example, this one, I wanted to know, okay, just so you can see, like this one. I wanted to move, I wanted to multiply this into like into 12. So what I will do is this one, if I go to my pivot table, and I will show the field list. This is sum of date value. So if I wanted Excel to automatically calculate, so I will write this one, value, annual value. I mean, this doesn't work. I mean, I'm just trying to use this. I'm just trying to show you that it's possible to add a calculated field on Excel, on Pivot, I'm sorry. And for this data it doesn't make sense, but yeah, just for me to show you that it's possible to calculate data. So I have data value, and then I will add like times 12, and then here I have the annual value. Say for example, I don't like to see the data value, instead I want to see the annual value. So this is your annual value. But if I want to move it up, and just to double check, like drag down here the data value, then I have 1197 here, right? So if I add 1197, if I write 1197 times 12, I should get 14364 because that's the formula that I've created. So I'll go back and then return the data value so that I can drop here the annual value. Then I have 14634, which is equal to 12. So all these numbers that I have will be multiplied to 12 because that is how I set it up here. So you can like choose any, say for example, this is the annual value that I have done, but I want to see the average or divided by 12. So I will divide it by 12, and this is what I've get. if for example I don't want all these numbers and I wanted to round it off or round it down or whatever, so from the drop down, if you wanted to modify the formula that you've added, you just click on this drop down and then find the name that you have created for that formula. And like say this is data value divided by 12, and I wanted to round it to like two decimal places only. So I'll add equals round, this one divided by 2, round it up to 2. And then I will just say modify and then okay. So now I don't see all the numbers. That's confusing me. All I see are the two decimal places that I've set. So this is like very helpful if you need like calculated data. You don't have to, check every time. It will automatically calculate. And what's this? Okay, so these are like recommended pivot tables, how you're going to show the data, but usually you just play around with the rows, the values, and the group columns. So the filter is anything that you want your filter to show, or you can either use filter or you can just use this slicer if you need. And this looks fancy, and it also looks like you know so much about Excel, but it's just some few clicks, and then you show the slicer. And then the row, these are the row that will be reflected here. So if the more you add, the more columns it will be added here, and which will show all the rows that you wanted to see on your pivot. And then the columns, this will be um, like here, which will give you all the numbers, all the values that you have. So then you have the annual value, what you want. So you can either, like here it's a sum of all the annual value, or you can like change this one into either count or average or the max or the minimum or the product or the count of numbers or the standard deviation or whatever the variable. So it's up to you whatever your requirement is, but for you to change that, you just by default it will go to sum. But if you double click or you just click once and then value field, you change it to sum or count, whatever it is you need at that time, then just change it. And then yeah, that's it. So I have all these, and you can like beautify or whatever, and then you just go by here for the design, banded, like alternate, or like alternate the columns and all. If you like it, if you don't like it, you just check or uncheck any of these. Like if you don't have like row headers or like that one, the colors, or change it to this one, you have so many options to choose from here. You just try the drop down, and it will get applied to the pivot table that you have created. Okay, thank you for watching. I'll try to see what I can show again next time. Okay, have a good day. Bye bye.